And so I didn't even know this movie was coming out. Like, I've tried to stay on top of these things in terms of looking at them ahead of time. But we've been getting a lot of biopics, and not just biopics, but biopics about products. We just got Air.
Yes.
We're out in theaters now is the Blackberry movie, and food products. I heard that we're getting a couple of different food product movies, and this one is right along there. This is Flamin' Hot, as in Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Tell me about Flamin' Hot.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, Air, Blackberry, also Tetris was another one of these like brand true stories. Some of my favorite movies of 2023 so far. I mean, these movies have just, I don't know what it is, but they all keep coming out amazing. And so I'm very excited to see if this, continues that trend. This is the directorial debut, I believe, of Eva Longoria, which is interesting. And it looks very silly from everything I've heard. This true story is something that people have been wanting to make a movie of for years and years now. And it's just like a really interesting cast of characters. This guy who went from, I believe, being a janitor to coming up with the recipe for Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and then, being ignored at first. But then, of course, history happens. But it's supposed to just be crazy and fun and just a little bit ridiculous, and just like it sounds. And yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see this one.
This is Jesse Garcia as Richard Montanez, our lead character. Sort of interesting, too. Dennis Haysbert, the president from 24, is in it. They haven't said what his character name is yet. But Tony Shaloub as Roger Enrico. And, of course, Matt Walsh comes in, trusty comedy veteran actor, filling out the cast. I love the idea of this, of the guy who comes out of nowhere to create or influence a product. The Flamin' Hot phenomenon for fast food, for snack foods that was really hit big 10, 15 years ago. Who really knows where these things come from? Like, I remember back in high school, it was extreme. Like, everything, like Mountain Dew, MTV, everything was extreme. And where does that come from? And 10 years, 15 years after that, 10, 15 years ago now, everything was flaming hot. For a while it was Cool Ranch Doritos and everything else. And then all of a sudden we got a flaming hot. And the poster for this, too, I love the picture of Richard Montanez handing the Flamin' Hot, hand of God sort of thing coming down.
Sure.
It's cropped out of the picture that I have for the podcast, but it is also on my list. I have Flamin' Hot at number 8 on my list. And yes, you're right. Eva Longoria. Desperate Housewives was in large part a comedy, but for some reason, I don't really associate Eva Longoria and comedy directing. And yet, clearly that's what this film is. And this is interesting, too, because this is straight to streaming.
Yeah.
So it's not getting a theatrical release that I'm aware of. But it's going through what used to be Fox Searchlight, straight to Hulu and Disney+. And obviously, Disney now owns Fox, and therefore has a controlling interest in Hulu. So somehow a Fox Searchlight product is ending up on Hulu as a comedy, which is a little bizarre.
Yeah.
But
I thought we were done with messy releases,
yeah.
Since the pandemic.
But then again, any sort of a biopic about snack products it's probably going to be a little bit bizarre. But when you have that branding of coming through the Searchlight studio, what used to be Fox Searchlight, which is definitely one of the gold standard studios for indie films over the last 25, 30 years. I don't know what the future holds for Searchlight. As a comedy about snack foods, it looks like a lot of fun. Streaming on Hulu June 9th.